what I like to say is that this is a traditional electric engine control system, and this is a wind engine control system, throttle.
I see.
So this behaves really like an engine. You don't need to know how to sail.
Jean-Guyon, thank you so much for finding the time for us today. This is a fascinating project. You've won so many awards for the right reasons. Maybe before I make myself look stupid, you'd just like to introduce who you are, what company you're from, or which companies you're representing here, how that all works together, and also the wonderful technology. But let's start with the companies.
So I'm Jean Guyon, and I'm representing both companies, Ocean Development and Aeroforce, and both companies are very intimately partnering today to create this boat that we are on today, which is called the MODX 70. And the MODX 70 is the very first 100% electric yacht. Okay, so that means we have no fuel on board.
Zero
fuel, you know. So we have a fully electric boat.
It's no carbon propulsion at all.
So when you use it, it's zero CO2 emissions.
Wow.
Completely.
Wow.
And that's a unique offering in the market today. So we launched the boat about 6 months ago, and we've been sailing with it for the last 6 months. Basically, we did more than 5,000 miles, and it's working fine. And we are very happy with the results and the performance so far. And we know we can push the boundaries a bit more, but pretty happy with the results so far.
Honestly, I think you've not pushed the boundaries; you've broken through most of the boundaries with this boat, right? Because it's hard to know where to start from. You know, sustainability is obviously the core of what we're interested in, but the technology, the innovation behind it is quite amazing.
Yeah. So for us, the angle was from day one of this venture, if you like. That was the cornerstone. We want to have a boat that is 100% electric and has no CO2 emission. And every decision we made during the process of designing the boat was really geared toward this goal, right? So that was very important. So we end up with a solution that is quite unique and looks different from the rest of the market, because we think that technology can really help to solve problems towards sustainability. But at the same time, we have to be part of the solution as well as people who are using the technology. And we believe that the technology will give you some room and will help you to go into the right direction. But at the same time, you have to step forward and do something. So the behavior,
change your behavior,
behavior has to change. The awareness of what you're doing has to change. And so that's part of the story, and really a very important factor in the way we approach things.
All right. Well, we're going to talk about the amazing technology as well in a minute. But let's maybe start off, if we talk about behaviors, let's talk about the people who should be sailing this boat. Who's this built for? Is this maybe for a sailing school for people that are getting started? I don't think so. No.
This is a yacht. So this is a 70-foot yacht, so 21 meters. So it's a reasonable size boat. It's geared toward the luxury kind of high end of the market. But people who are aware or want to be aware and want to be acting on their footprint, right, basically. So the boat is fully electric. We have 250 kilowatt hour of batteries. That represents, if you like, maybe 2.5 very big electric cars. So it's significant. It means almost 2 tons of battery on the boat. 1.8 tons actually. But the batteries are good, so you can charge when you are in the marina. But the thing is, what we want to try to achieve is for the boat to be self-sufficient. So if you like, it's like an electric car that can charge itself as it goes. That's the difference. So how do we do this? We have 70 square meters of solar panel everywhere. That would provide, that would charge your battery on a good day, on any day actually. You get a little bit of charge anyway.
How many kilowatts do you get out of that? Do you know?
The spec is about 12 kilowatt peak.
That's quite a lot. That's
the spec. You know, depending on weather, depending on shadows and all that. More or less, that's the target
optimum,
point, the optimum. And on top of that, the other way to charge the batteries is when you are sailing with the wind. So using the wind, which is free and available for everyone and green by definition, to recharge the battery. And to do this, you need to get the boat moving at, say, more than 8 knots of boat speed. Because when we reach this point, we use the variable pitch drive of the propeller. So the propeller that helps pushing the boat forwards, you can reverse the propeller, then they start spinning with the speed of the boat, and that your electric engine become generator. So that's called hydrogeneration.
The hydrogeneration, it sounds great. And when we talk about variable pitch propeller, for the listeners and the viewers on YouTube, what that means is kind of like a helicopter, that the blades turn depending what you want to do with it. Oh.
Exactly. Yeah. So the propeller in the water, they have a certain pitch orientation of the blades for pushing the boat forward. But when you want to use the energy of the water, then you change the pitch, and the propeller will start spinning the other way around.
And it's like
that through the electric engine, that creates energy back to the batteries.
Like a dynamo on a bike, right?
Exactly. It's the whole dynamo on the back. So like you said, technology is there. It's just a different way to use it to achieve your goal.
Yeah, and it's brilliant. You know, I got a URL 20 years ago called Useless Energy. It was like use less energy. I've never actually used that URL, but one day maybe you guys should take it on from me. There's so much useless energy that we could benefit from out there, And
So for this, we developed many different technology
approaches,
but the key element of innovation is those wings. So we're not having sails like a normal sailboat. We're using wings like the airplane wings, because this profile of a wing is much more efficient than sails. A flat sail will deliver some power, if you like. A wing of the same surface area will deliver between 1.7 to 2 times more.
Wow. Okay. So that means basically the propulsion efficiency is 1.7 to almost twice as much?
That's why airplanes fly with wings and not sails.
Yeah, that's true. That's right. They did fly with sails originally, I guess.
They did. So then this thick profile, if you like, makes it more efficient.
Okay.
So what we've developed, and everybody knows that, you know, the big racing boat, they're using wings. They're not using sails.
Really?
But the thing is that when they finish racing, they go to the marina, they take the wing out with a crane and they put it down, because otherwise you can't have it.
Like we do with our mast in winter when we take the boat out of the water.
So what we've done is we've tried to solve this issue by having a telescopic mast. So we have a telescopic mast which is made of different carbon tubes, if you like, that can be fully retracted or fully deployed at 16 meters or 23 meters. And on top of this mast, we have developed a special fabric which is inflatable and that will create the shape of the wing.
So can you change the shape of the wing to trim the boat as well, or is it always the same shape and just a different angle? Because it really is fantastic. You know?
That's a very good point. Like an airplane, an airplane has flaps. And when you go landing, because the airflow goes slower, you have less lift, so you need to put your flap on. So we've done the same principle. We created this flap that we can rotate about 25 degrees, that increases the lift by about 30%.
On the trailing edge then?
On the trailing edge.
I understand, then. And the actual, like, they call them wing foils, I think, or no, so wing sails.
It's wing sails.
It's hard to know what to call them exactly.
We don't know yet.
Let the marketing people decide. But I mean, do they actually change the height whilst you're sailing, or you mentioned 2 different heights?
We have like a reef capacity. So we have one reef up and reef down.
Like a ref,
so
I see.
On this particular boat, we have the fully deployed wing will be about, not about actually, exactly 125 square meter projected surface. And the rift one is 73 or 75.
Wow.
So if there is too much wind or too much power, then you can reduce.
And you've got 2 of these on top of the boat, right? And so is that just because you want to have dual power, or do they actually interact? Is there something happening in between them as well, like with a head sail and a mainsail?
It's not exactly a head sail and mainsail, but you have what do you call it? Upwind sail and downwind sail. And of course the airflow in between will change the angle, will change the speed of the wing.
Like a Venturi kind of
effect. So you don't have exactly the same settings between the 2 sails.
Really?
But this is done automatically. You don't have to worry about it. The computer does the settings for you. So it's
basically, if you want to sail this boat, you just need to know how to move the steering wheel. That's all you...
Why would you do this?
You do autopilot.
You have an autopilot. So the autopilot is there to drive the boat, but also to drive the sails. So basically, there is, unlike any other sailing boat, there is no ropes, there is no winches, there is no halyards. There is just buttons that you have to push and throttles that you have to move.
So can you demonstrate anything here?
Sure. I'm not going to do it now because we are in the marina, and I don't want to bring the sails up. But the idea is that through this touch screen here, you can put your wings on, you can press here if you like, and that will start the process of hoisting the sail.
I see, wing reef, wing up, wing down. Okay.
And the sail wheel itself will rotate to go upwind, not wind, but facing the wind, zero neutral position if you like, as it goes up. It takes about 8 minutes to go up, and when it's ready, after 8 minutes, what you have to do is basically use this throttle here to go from your 0%. 0% means the sail is facing the wind, so it's no power.
Right,
it's
okay,
stable.
like in wind.
In the wind.
Yeah.
And then from 0 to 100%, when you put it to 100%, then the computer will start trimming the wing to deliver the maximum possible
for the direction you want to go,
based on the
with
direction,
the drift and
the wind direction, the wind force, etc. It's all pre-calculated, and you go to 100%. You have your maximum power. You have lots more, some waves or more people or something. You want to reduce the power a little bit. You do this. Then your flap goes to 0, and then the angle changes. You still have power. But you reduce the power, so you're more in control.
Yeah, you're basically being less efficient with the wind available.
In other words, what I like to say is that this is a traditional electric engine control system, and this is a wind engine control system, throttle.
I see.
So this behaves really like an engine. You don't need to know how to sail. You need to know the basics, of course. But
it's just like the gas pedal in a car, basically.
Exactly. That's what it is, right? And then you go like in new modern cars now. You go in autopilot. And it does it for you.
You know, I always said I hate things like that, but I grew up in the car industry. That was the start of my career in aerodynamics, and then I worked on the development of a Range Rover, and it was amazing to go off-road with all the sensors, and people said, oh no, this is terrible, we want to do it ourselves. But once you've driven a car that can do that for you, once you've driven a car that'll make sure you don't drive into the one in front or goes around the corners, autonomous is just amazing technology.
But coming back to the purpose here, the sustainability, why we do all this, we do all this because we want to create energy. Because we want to live on the boat without having the need to plug in, if you like. So as soon as we reach the correct speed, which is 7-8 knots, then we can start to use this, which is your hydro generation control. And if you put hydro on, you can select the intensity of the hydro that you want, and you will start creating energy with your propeller and recharging your battery. And so basically we've seen up to 16 kilowatts of instantaneous charging with a boat speed of 15 knots. Right? So it's the sweet spot is probably around 12-13 knots by 15-18 knots of speed, of wind speed, sorry. And then you can charge 8 to 9 kilo. So it's very efficient.
So if we think about this whole idea, I've heard that this would be a technology you can also use on container boats, and there's benefits for that as well, right?
Of course. I mean, there's a big trend at the moment on how to use the wind as a new, it's not a new, because if you look at trade winds, it's been like this for
a couple of hundred years ago. We weren't using any carbon fuels.
We want to go back to using the wind as a way to move goods around. And as you know, 90% of the goods that we use every day are shipped, right? And that represents 3% of the all carbon emissions worldwide, which is the same as the aviation.
That's right, 2 to 3%.
Everybody is talking about the aviation, but the shipping is also very big. So anyway, so we hope we can use this technology and upgrade and upscale this technology towards this shipping industry. And the target is to, we've done some preliminary calculation stuff, and the target is to try to achieve, between 20 to 30% reduction of the fuel consumption and therefore the CO2 emissions for big ships or medium-sized ship. But then you have also another trend where people start to think we can do 90% because we can, bring it to the level where the wind is the primary source of power, and that's coming.
John, it feels to me a little bit like you've just taken autonomous to a different level. You've got an autonomous vehicle, you've got the autopilot, you've got the auto sails, if you like, and you've also got the autonomous living. And connecting those two together is really fantastic. Now, I know you're an incredibly busy man. I would love to ask you about the founders of your company and their racing records and Olympic gold and all those fantastic things. But I think we'll leave it up to the viewers to do some more research on this project. But it's been wonderful that you found the time for us today. I really, really appreciate it. Now we're going to look around your boat, and I believe it's built completely sustainably as well. All the materials.
Oh yeah, we tried to work on this as well. We are using a For the composite, we are using a specific resin which is called Infigreen.
Okay.
That has, I think, 30-something% of natural material in it. The floor as well has natural fibers.
Okay.
So, you know, we've tried to do this as well. You can't do everything you want. There's still a lot of carbon on the boat.
Yeah.
Because, you know, he has to be stiff and strong.
Yeah.
But yeah, we've tried to go down this way as well.
Hey, it's a big step in the right direction, and who knows what the next development will be from there. That's what innovation's about, is somebody has a game-changing idea. You're certainly a game changer. That's one of the things we love to say in our company. We have a program called The Game Changer, and you are a brilliant game changer. And it's been wonderful to speak to you today, and I really appreciate it. And thank you for making the next generation's life much nicer than the previous generations.
Yes, we're trying that.
John.
Thank you, Nick.
Bonne chance.
Thanks. Merci.
Of course, if you want to live on a boat, then it needs to be beautiful. But it's built completely sustainably. The materials that have been used, very, very sustainable. But more importantly, the propulsion here, it's a game changer. Yet another game changer here at 2025 at the Cannes Yachting Festival. So great to hear that they've won an innovation award. And if you look at this here, what is it? Well, it's not a sail, it's an aerofoil. It's like a wing on an aeroplane. It's telescopic, it rises up and it gets blown up into the shape of a wing. It's got a kind of flap kind of thing on the trailing edge of that wing, just the same as an aeroplane. And there are two of them, one on each side of the vehicle. And the whole thing is sailed with sensors, and it's sailed automatically. You just basically need to steer the boat in the right direction, or as Jean in our interview said, press the button on the autopilot and let the thing do the work for you. Whilst you're sailing, it's regenerating energy through the propellers, and the whole intention of this boat is you can be completely autonomous, that you create your own energy and get around the world without a single drop of carbon energy. This is absolutely fantastic. Yet another game changer. Really wonderful. It's been so motivating being here at the fair. We've got to get off to the next podcast now, so let's get moving.